Oh wait, is it still fixing? Is that live now?
No, now we're live.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so that was weird. Never mind.
Nice.
Okay, so welcome to the cast, y'all. We're starting over.
Yep. It's Monday. It's rainy. We got the Front Porch Blend going on.
Yep. And it is peak asthma week. For those of you who can't breathe, enjoy this week.
Keep breathing.
It's the best week there is. Take your inhaler, go to class anyway. It's also the week after I always get a sinus infection. To the day. It's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
And so a couple things to mention before we get going. 2 downloads in France.
Oui.
Yeah. Sip that superior French coffee.
I like that.
Listen to
that
us.
French
Thank
roast.
you. Our French connection. We appreciate you. And our favorite book. Well, our book we're reading right now, Lost Connections.
Lost Connections.
Yeah, Johann Hari liked a post.
Basically
Bars.
famous.
Yes, basically famous.
But that'd be cool if you listen to the cast. Maybe I'll have some notes for the mental health episodes.
I hope so, man. Yeah, let us know what's up.
Yeah. But how far are you? Are you done with that, or are you
Almost done.
almost done?
Yep.
I'm probably about a little over halfway. I'm trying to think of specifically where I am, but yeah, no, it's really good. It's a great book.
So have you gotten into solutions yet, or are you still in causes?
Still in causes.
Okay.
And tail end of causes, I think. So.
Okay. Interesting stuff on the causes, though. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah, and it's things that I think apply to almost everybody in some way. Like not in like a you have, and especially he like steers away from the chemical thing with the broken brain theory kind of like.
Yeah, it's not like you can't help it. It's just how you are stuff. It's,
right.
Now look at your environment and here's how you're affected by it.
Yeah.
Or just things like that.
Right. Or
it's
like
a very
or
fixable cause.
Being disconnected from meaningful work, meaningful relationships. There's like the things that I think everyone struggles with to a degree. Right. So
wait till you get into the next part of the book where he actually starts to talk about ways to sort of fix that.
Yeah.
Which is very cool because you can look at the symptoms and be like, oh great, I don't have a meaningful job. Well, how the hell am I supposed to do that? Right. Well, then like in the next part of the book, he actually goes into things like that and like simple things you can do to kind of start steering that. And it's really very cool, very practical.
Yeah. Which I think action is also one of the main cures to things like that. So if he just gives you a little bit of action, the first step.
Give you a couple steps to be able to pull it off.
Yeah. And that can snowball and hopefully change your life.
That's the key there. That's the trick.
Yeah, there's a few. One of my students was reading The Inner Game of Tennis, and we were talking about that.
Oh, right on.
So, yeah. But I was going to lend him The Mindful Athlete next, and
nice.
let him dig into that. So he was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" I was like, "Oh, dude."
But actually, I'm finding a lot of really cool crossovers with Lost Connections and Mindful Athlete, Inner Game of Tennis. Mm-hmm. They're all sort of interrelated.
But it's the same like plane of your brain.
And it's a very similar thought process of almost, finding like peak performance. Mm-hmm. Whereas, peak performance in the respect of not being anxious or depressed. Yeah. It very much is peak performance. Right.
Whether that's just like your peak performance is performing really good at work every day, or being a good parent, or this, whatever.
Getting up in the morning and being happy about it.
Yeah, everyone's peak performance is a little different.
Mm-hmm. But then there's just aspects of it, and there's from different parts of your day that are peak, which is it makes for a very interesting crossover, and it's made it having read those books and then a few others throughout my life, having sort of a distilled thing like that with Lost Connections. Being able to kind of pull all that stuff into it. Like, okay.
Yeah, it just kind of like brings it back up to the forefront of your brain. You should apply it in a different way.
Yeah, and you start making new connections.
Another connections. Hopefully you find some connections and you make new ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great book. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend, even if you don't necessarily have depression or anything, like even if you just want to understand.
No, it's just cool to know.
It's just an interesting book.
Yeah, very interesting. But also wanted to, not that anyone can see, but I'm wearing my original bro tank today. The
USA Taekwondo.
Yes, and this is an XL, baby. Now, maybe a children's XL, but it's fits perfectly. I predicted my size.
Yeah. And, so good.
Yeah.
I feel like tank tops are kind of like endless.
Sorry, say that again. No one probably couldn't hear that.
I feel like the tank tops can kind of just be like just endless. You can always kind of have a tank top going on, you know?
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Like they don't, I feel like you can have an XL, small. It's going to work for you some way.
It's always going to work, man. Depends on how much chest you need to have out, right?
Yeah.
But the reason I wore this shirt today, I found it in my pajama drawer. I always forget that I still have it. I'm like, perfect. But I wanted to toss a question at you as sort of an overall topic for the discussion. Invisible consistency. Because we kind of talked about trust in the process last time, but be consistent, trust the process.
Yeah.
We're going to go our full tagline. I saw a post from my school that I train at. Jake was giving someone a blue belt. It was like, be consistent, come to class, and And this was on like a day that my daughter and I were both sick and we weren't going to class.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got a full gym. I'm gonna solo drill tonight. No one's ever gonna see it. Like, I'm a bum. Depending on what you see. And then I started kind of thinking about my life. And that's why I wore this shirt, is because that's kind of where the invisible consistency started. The vast majority of my training I've done by myself. Especially my strength conditioning work.
Yeah.
And any kind of drill I can do solo. Footwork drills, things like that. Any sort of movement drill, I've done most of it alone. So when I show up in shape, people think it's magical. Like, you just walk around like that. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. But no one ever sees it.
Right.
No one ever knows.
Yeah. Especially like in today's day and age, where if you don't like post it on Instagram, it didn't happen.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, not something I do.
I refuse to do it. But I think that's where the magic does happen, though, is when no one's watching. Isn't that sort of the cliche, too? It's like, character is if, you're doing the work when no one's watching.
No one's looking, what do you do? Yeah.
Right, so like that's the, you do it mostly alone.
Dude,
there's going to be success.
It shows up. I haven't been a teacher of a class in a long time, so my memory is probably a little hazy on this one. It's kind of why I want to toss it at you. But you can see people who put the work in.
Yeah.
You can tell they change.
Right.
You're like, you got better. Like, you can see it. You can always tell when someone, even just from week to week, if you haven't seen them since last week and they come in, you're like, you practiced a bunch last week, didn't you?
Yeah, like you've put serious thought into this process. Like, yeah. Yeah, and not everyone has, mats in their house or like a drilling dummy or whatever, but like, depending on, and that's the thing, we're just talking about jiu-jitsu in particular, but like, whether you run or you do whatever, like, it's going to come down to like what you're doing alone.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing all the time too. What you're digesting, taking in mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. Like, it's all going to boil down to that shit, right?
Yeah. It all comes together to be something.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I've done a lot of stuff alone as well. And that's where I think I've thrived. It's like training alone, and like that's where I almost find like where I can push myself.
Well, you can,
and it's a different kind of push. There's a push with a group, and that's great, and you need that. But there's also that individual threshold that you needed to kind of discover and like really push past. And really
the solo
understand.
push, where you're not waiting for a turn, where no one's, you're not with someone, no one's telling you what to do. So like, say just like last week when I put a gi on Gary, man, and I was practicing what we did. Like, this was a Thursday, I was practicing what we did on Tuesday. This like overhook, cross gi, throat punch choke thing, which is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's a really good choke.
Right.
And then like a weird like bent arm lock off of that. I did that for a half hour straight, just left, right, mess with those. And I probably got 2 hours worth of work in a half hour because I'm by myself with the invincible Gary.
Yeah.
I punch Gary in the throat all day. He's fine.
Right.
And
something, and that's what I kind of am meaning by like there's more to get out of solo work because this is more efficient. It's you. There's not a class. There's not an environment to be distracted by. Yeah. As long as you know what you're trying to get out of it and go into it knowing that, like I think you'll get a lot out of it.
Yeah, and I found so much of the little details of it that I had just glimpsed or hadn't picked up before, hitting it again, but then hitting it again by myself.
Yeah.
Where I know enough, I know how I train, I know body mechanics, I know enough that I can pull that off. So I've put the work in on that end to build the base. But, I mean, 30 minutes solid, like I felt good.
Yeah. And now you'll probably hit it in rolling or something. Yeah. And then now you get to apply it differently.
But I was laughing because here I am, white belt.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like, with jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter. You should be doing like you'll either hopefully get it over time, or you won't. Just depends if you keep training or not.
Yep.
I think that's what it kind of boils down to with jiu-jitsu. Is like if you stop, don't fucking stop.
Don't stop. I mean, training period. That's another thing I was thinking about too. With just this morning, oddly enough, I'm listening to a John Danaher interview, real good one on flow grappling, right? And in my head, I was just kind of, I don't know, it's probably because I'm sick and I feel like crap, which reminds me of how I used to feel like crap all the time when I was really into Taekwondo and really training, and I think all the people I used to train with.
Gotta reminisce on that.
And sometimes.
Just the lack of oxygen in your brain's like,
I'm just kind of going back. And then I'm like, there's no one left. And no one trains. No one does anything. And I started thinking about, like, I've never understood that. Like, I could go back and talk to 500 people, easy, that I've either taught or trained with over the past 20 years. Probably 1,000.
Yeah. And
they would all have an excuse. Well, I had to quit because I grew up, or I had to quit because I went to school, or I had to quit because I had... And I'm thinking, I have also done all those things. Plus plus an hour and a half conversation of injury. Like...
What's up?
So, like, why?
Yeah.
Why it's so different?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with my brain that I don't get it?
No, I think you crave that consistency and that constant, like, it's like the self-auditing thing. You're like, can I still do this? Can I improve on this?
Is there a way to pull it off?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So you're just always questioning that. I think that's what sets people apart, that want to always just be improving.
Yeah.
And if they will improve or not.
Yeah, and then, putting that on a level.
People, everyone wants to improve. It's a matter of who will improve. And I think
it's
going to be the people who... Yeah, exactly. It's going to be the people who do the shit at 3 a.m. in their room at night, like... No one's going to notice,
I can't sleep.
Or when someone does notice, they're like, wow, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Right? So there's that aspect of it, too. Which is fun.
Yeah, so, I mean... I don't know where I wanted to go with it, but invisible consistency just seems like a neat topic. Yeah, and
that's the thing. You won't notice the results right away.
Yeah, and like, even if you're doing it, you won't notice.
Right.
You just know you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh wait.
It's kind of like again going back to like nothing matters, but you should do it anyway. Like it's important that you do it.
Yeah.
It is important that you do it because maybe down the line it's going to come together for you. You might use that choke that you drilled for 30 minutes. Like maybe not even rolling, but like self-defense. Maybe it might just pop up. Yeah, you never fucking know.
But
you
then
just don't know.
And it sets weird bars for things like the fact that I love to train and always want to do it for the whole life. I've thought that way, but B, I was like trying to find new stuff.
Yeah,
that led to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I can say that led to everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I got
into something.
I got into my college major because I was teaching, and there was a doctor that was a teacher there that was like, "Nah, man, you in."
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do. I'm like,
okay.
I didn't know about it. I just tried it. I'm like, oh, this works. Yeah, this is really what I like to do. Thanks, Or, I got just about every job I've ever had was through teaching and training, and someone just offered me the job because, like, they knew me from that world. Or,
Now, coming to think of it, like, the past couple jobs and things I've had, like, have come off of, like, my experience of teaching and kind of merit doing that.
And people just know you.
Rather than anything else, really. Like,
you don't need an interview, man. You got it. Yeah. I know you're going to be there.
And I'm like, oh, shit, cool, all right.
You'll do good. All right, go ahead, yeah.
So I guess that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
So that's a payoff of consistency and invisible consistency. And I've had conversations in my head with myself. I'm like, that's kind of a payoff of that. And I think that's where
it's called being reliable.
Yeah. Like, be reliable for yourself. Like, be reliable to yourself too.
Yeah. I mean,
why not?
Just training every day, and if you got to make a little space in your house to do it or figure it out.
But on top of that, you just don't need a fucking pat on the back every time you're doing something.
No, you don't.
One, if that's your motivation, get rid of that,
Yeah.
and then do some stuff to simply improve and enjoy the process.
Train for the sake of training.
Yeah, learn to love training. Like,
not for the sake of
learn to love training and self-improvement, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, and I mean, don't even pat yourself on the back. I mean, every once in a while I get something and I'm like, cool. And that's about the extent of it. Like I'm getting ice cream because I figured that out. No, I'm like, cool, I figured it out. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, yeah, that's and then I'm kind of like, well, yeah, that's how it should be. And you finally made it click. And then, okay, we've made that piece click. Apply it elsewhere, move on, build, blah, blah, blah. You apply it immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've also kind of taken that down a negative road of where, like, I should be able to do this fucking thing, and I'm going to obsess over it.
Yeah.
And you kind of got to get rid of that. And I think if you train a lot, though, you eventually move past that. Because if you don't, you quit.
If you train to get enough, you're like, well, it's just a numbers game. I'm going to have a bad day. Like, I'm going to have a shitty day. Like,
Then you kind of get over that if you train enough. And you're like, oh, okay, that was an off day. Wow, what did I get out of today, though?
Yeah.
Well, I was shit and I kept going. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, you finished it.
Yeah.
You're not dead.
That's something.
Wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow will be sweet. Maybe tomorrow something will click and everything will come together. Then you can do that standing backflip.
I'm trying. Don't worry.
I was listening to an interview with Steve-O. And just like, he's just insane, obviously. But he's like, he kind of cleaned up his act now. He's doing like stand-up comedy. He's like not doing drugs anymore. So good.
Steve-O is a talented skateboarder.
Yeah,
man.
he's like a talented kind of he can do a lot of stuff.
He really is. He's got good body control, man.
Yeah. He just had a lot of weird other stuff, extracurricular activities.
Well, hey, if MTV's going to toss a bunch of money at you to be a dumbass, I mean, hey.
You're going to do some stuff.
You're going to do some stuff, man,
Yeah. But no, like I relate the invisible consistency a lot more to like striking more so, I'd say. Mm-hmm. You run a lot. Hit the bag alone a lot. You do this alone. You jump rope.
Footwork drills and jump rope, man. All the time.
And that's more so very like Rocky in the dark, training montage. So like you can really get kind of behind that. Even if you don't do shit, you're like, oh yeah, like fucking Rocky did that shit. But that's just where dividends, really start to pay off.
That's where it pays off, yeah. Where it kind of seeps into your brain and gets stuck in your homunculus, and that's the normal movement.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, now we're smooth.
Yeah. And I think that's important if you're ever gonna like want to improve, is to put in like that. I don't want to call it miserable work, but like it's nothing flashy.
No, it's not flashy. And I guess you want it to be miserable because the montage looks miserable.
Yeah.
You want it to be difficult and
grimy.
Struggle.
Yeah.
Struggle, but like that's a perception thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many people do you see? Like, I was just watching a bunch of the ADCC like training vlogs on YouTube that Flo's putting out. Everyone all sweaty and dying and just happy, like such good training. I'm gonna be so ready.
yeah.
And like they're not miserable.
Right.
They're worn out.
They're tired.
They're really happy.
Yeah.
And like so, it's just what's your perception of that?
Right.
Right. That seems like a happy thing to me, covered in other people's sweat. Yeah,
dying.
Just dying. Like,
it's a good time.
I can't breathe. I'll be fine.
Yeah. And that's, you can look at it in 10 different ways. With jiu-jitsu, it's like drilling, rolling, whatever. But like, at the end of the day, you're trying to get that 1% better. Like, you're trying to chase a tiny bit better. And hopefully having that kind of monotonous work pay off in that aspect too. Hopefully it kind of takes care of some of the stuff you may have missed, or or just that building block backs it up. As if you didn't have it.
You're getting a lot of cues for monotonous work.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that's negative as well.
It's not.
Monotonous is like a negative word usually.
Yeah, I disagree.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
It's a repetition thing, and do you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Are you getting into the placement of that neon belly?
Right.
And I just did that 100 times, but like I'm thinking about it every time. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And just Yeah, that's a happy Manaughtny. But then again, I guess does that tie into that if you see something like that as cool, then you don't need a pat on the back for it? Because if you think it's grimy and grueling and like you want someone to congratulate you for suffering,
Mm-hmm.
whereas if it's not suffering, it's just, this is a fun thing I like to do. Yeah, I'm gonna, I used to throw 1,000 kicks a day. Like round kicks. Probably why my legs fell off. But I was into every one of those kicks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just foot placement, just thinking about it. Was my knee going? The same damn kick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was excited for every one of them.
Yeah.
I do that in jiu-jitsu. I've been practicing sweeps with Gary. I've been practicing just grip placement with dummy. These are my standard. These are all my grappling dummies. And it's the same shit.
Yeah.
But I'm just into it, man. And it's just this, it's just fun. But I don't need anyone to know. I don't need anyone to see me. Mm-hmm. I'm not showing it off to anybody.
You don't need to be like, hey, I did this. Give me my belt.
Yeah.
Which I think is what a lot of schools try to do, and if they drill good and they do this, then they can have their blue belt and this and that. A lot of places won't let them roll.
What would your curriculum be based on then? What is your advancement based on? You got to base it on something,
right?
And so I think that's kind of I'm in sort of a happy no man's land right now with that whole advancement thing. Mm-hmm. Is I sort of intentionally stuck myself in this rut of where I'm probably not going to get promoted, and I don't even care.
It's a good place to be.
And so, where does that put you, though? Because everyone's like, oh, don't care about the belt. But it's important when you get the belt.
Right, and then, yeah.
And you're like, we're all doing the same stuff, right?
Everyone wants to stand at a different 10-foot gap in the line, Everyone wants to stand a little, 3 inches, to the left.
And it makes me laugh because we're all drilling the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What does it matter what belt you have on?
Yeah.
But then there is a part of me I'm going to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu soon. One day.
Right. It is weird. It is such a strange thing, especially in jiu-jitsu, just because don't focus on the belt.
But the belt's pretty damn cool.
But yeah, but then the black belt is the pinnacle of success, in jiu-jitsu.
The great joke about a black belt is, and people have never had one, is when you get a black belt, now you're just the white belt of the black belts.
I know, at that point I'm just I've thought about it, I'm just gonna be alright, all my prereq work is done. Now I just get to do the more, fucking everything else again.
I'll never forget when I
fortify.
When I got my first degree in Taekwondo when I was 18. It was a fucking lifelong dream. I worked my whole life for that, and it was just and I still had to sit in the back at the tournament. I still had to sit in the back of the damn car. I'm I'm gonna sit up front. They're like, dude, you're a first degree. Get in the fucking back. Damn it. Why?
You just prestige.
You're killing my prestige.
You start over, even though you have the skills, you have this, you're just bottom of the barrel.
Nope. You still the low belt in this car.
Yeah. Dang. But it'll be cool, to get all that shit done.
Yeah, soon enough. You'll be the white belt of black belts.
Right. It'll be a good old time. But that's sort of the thing too. I am with a black belt. I want to really just treat that and just compete, get beat up, just get fucked up. Yeah, just dive into it. Just be worlds, okay. Just get fucking wrecked. It'd be great.
Well, you never know. Maybe you don't get wrecked.
I mean, footlocks and people.
I don't know, man. Danaher Death Squad. All those guys have been training for 5 years?
Right. You never know.
I mean, look at Nicky Rodriguez. He's been training for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck? Then
he might win ADCC.
Yeah, I know. Well, interesting. Everyone's path is different, right?
Everyone's path is different. Some people have a guru that systematizes everything for them and is an amazing teacher. Oh,
right. Yeah. Well, we're not all that, so
we could be though.
Yeah. But then that's why we all monotonously train, because we're oh man, that guy's out there, so got to beat that guy. I got to take care of my my loose ends. Yeah. So in case I ever have to fight that guy, so.
I'll fight a guy that big. I'm kneeing him in the head.
Sorry, dude. I'm a heel hook, and just I don't know.
I weigh 154. Yeah. I gotta bust out some mean stuff.
Shoot him. Take care of him.
No,
Shoot
no
him.
honor in that. No,
Honor is dead.
No, you gotta at least tempt death. Can't make it that easy.
Yeah.
How much time you got?
We got time. I got 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hey, shout out to my buddy Christa up in New York.
She's been repping that.
She's been repping us hard,
Hashtag
listening to us on the long runs.
Keep your coffee regular.
Yeah, getting ready for that half marathon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Half marathons are dope. I went to the Columbus half marathon. I was not running. I was watching.
Yeah.
But it's quite the event.
Nah, man, unless a bear is chasing me, I ain't running far.
Yeah.
I've never been a distance runner.
Even when I never was, but I did it for, road work.
Oh, yeah.
Monotonous training, back to that. Did it. Hated it.
I definitely,
Rolled my ankles a lot.
Yeah, I helped a buddy of mine get ready for cross country once when he was in high school, and he wanted to make cross country team. So we ran 30 or 40 miles a week before sparring class. We'd do like 10 miles 3 times a week and 5 miles twice a week or something crazy.
That's nuts.
That was nuts. And then I definitely did 3 miles 2 or 3 times a week to stay on weight.
Yeah.
No.
Weight runs?
Never again, man. No, thank you.
Yeah. 2 to 3 miles, just like a shitty pace. Throw on the playlist. Just go.
Man. I tried to get 24 minutes or less if I did a 3 mile.
Yeah.
Which is not great if you do the math.
Yeah, it's an 8 mile minute or 8 minutes.
Yeah, but I got a couple 20s in there. Mm-hmm. I was pretty ecstatic.
Some days you're feeling all right,
Some days I had a 6 minute mile and I'm like, holy crap, I pulled that off.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I was just a garbage runner. On top of that.
I'm not a good. I don't have good form. I can sprint. I'll sprint good.
I can do that a little better than I can long distance. Right?
Yeah, but distance ain't happening. Yeah.
I'm like an alligator, good in short bursts.
Yeah.
Then I'll just lay there for a while.
Definitely.
In the sun.
That's how it works.
But yeah, invisible consistency in terms of I always just relate it back to striking more so.
Oh yeah, me too.
But it's evident in grappling, of course, with drilling and rolling. But on a bigger scale, just competing consistently and stuff like that. I haven't necessarily been competing consistently, but once I'll get back into the swing of it, I have a tournament.
You go in spurts.
I know, just availability and
Is it still an emotional thing for you?
No, that's the thing. It's not that's not at all. So it's more of just prioritizing things and getting different shit done before I really cycle back into it.
Oh, I got you. You want to kind of get your life in a place.
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing is getting kind of things and my ducks in a row, not in a row, but getting them in order a little bit so I can do that regularly without having to
screw your life up.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand that. Now, I mean, to I don't know, qualify that of seriously people who compete a lot and their life is in shambles, which I was one of those people.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. I've been there, so I'm I don't want to do that again.
And you kind of drop everything else in life because you're focused on competing and training. And there's a ton of opportunities and relationships that I don't have because of what I did there. And so just to kind of put that in place of that's why you're doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no excuses here. That's a very smart thing of make sure your life is stable and you're not just obsessed chasing that medal.
Because exactly, and luckily I was young enough and in a position where I wasn't in dire straits. I lived at home, you know what I mean? I
was the same thing.
Financially,
I was living in my mom's house. So
right. So I had, I could do the things I was kind of doing, but right now, I have my apartment, I have this, I can't run around and fuck around and blow a bunch of cash to do this.
You can't drop off the map because the electricity's going to go out.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got it, and I want to make sure that's all kind of taken care of. But the thing is, I'm doing what I love to take care of it, so it's a nice process and learning it.
That really,
learning and making sure that's sustainable, so that I can again fold competing back in. Because we were talking about it was just obsessive. That's the life. I want to fold it back in to have it be a nice flowy
part of
the thing. Yeah, be a part of it and not be the only thing. Like, you know, part of the process of like me not competing is just like rounding out as a person. Just like learning different skills and doing different things.
Yeah, well, I think looking back on that, I got that from watching professional athletes. Of where if you play in the NBA, you can be that.
Yeah.
Because that's your job.
Right.
Like, you're going to get paid no matter what, so you can obsess over it, and you're getting game checks. You know what I'm saying? And they're like you have some guys whose lives fall apart, but they're fine financially. Yeah. Like, whatever.
Right.
And, like, as a non-professional athlete, like, you do that, you end up homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And like, with this type of sport, there isn't, like, a high line. There's not, like, a high ceiling like the NFL or the, MLB. It's not millions and trillions of dollars in the motherfucker.
The NFL, I bet you their minimum pay in 2009, entry-level pay was $350,000 a year. So that's well over $400,000 now, easy. Yeah. For the entry level, that's your guaranteed pay. Like, can you imagine?
If there's nothing guaranteed in jiu-jitsu, there's nothing guaranteed
no guarantees. In that. Like, you got, like, if you have a school, even if you have a successful school, there's no guarantees. Yeah. Like, you fuck up once,
gone.
Your school's done. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. It's better than it was, and like you've seen.
Business-wise,
it's cycled through a few times. So you've seen a lot of the broad strokes of mistakes and things, and like some of the
you've seen
things recycle through. Yeah,
I think with martial arts in general, since the '80s, that has been sort of cycled through and refined and better, and people have gotten better at business. Because you used to have guys that were good at business or guys that were good at teaching. Yeah, yeah. And there was always crossover.
There was always like almost. Just diametrically opposed. Like, all right, he's the office dude. I take, and that was like
like your office guys that also taught were belt factories. Right. But your really good teachers were just poor as fuck. Because they didn't know how to run a business. And now you've kind of got a balance in that. You got a lot of people that are good at both. Yeah. Or good enough. Yeah.
And there's good influence in the jiu-jitsu community now. Like early on, you just have business-minded people in it now. You have all types of people in jiu-jitsu, and now you have entrepreneurs and money, and
and there's a lot more money in it, and a lot of rich people do jiu-jitsu, man. But also the lack of master syndrome. Now it exists, but not as much. Now, coming from a Taekwondo background where it's built on fucking master syndrome, it makes it almost impossible to have a student who is a successful business person give you advice and figure it out, because they see you as master, you see them as subservient, like weird dishwasher, or so, there's never a connection, right? But whereas jiu-jitsu, like, I mean, you're my first teacher, and we hanging out, and there's what, more than 10 years between us, right? As far as age difference, and we treat each other the same. It's an equal thing, and it has been since from the beginning.
Yeah, I was never like, oh, you gotta fucking call me this, whatever. People fuck with me and they call me like, oh, sensei, come here, and they think it's fucking funny,
You're like,
shut up, I'm gonna kick you in the chest.
Yeah, seriously.
But it's all in like jest, but
it gives you a little flashback.
I'm like,
I know where that goes. No.
Yeah. I'm like, you're like, you don't even know.
You have no idea how horrible that is. Yeah. I cannot be that person.
Yeah. Absolute refusal.
Yeah. Ain't happening.
But it's fun. It's fun, to say the least. Teaching was, I think, something that helped me round out. Learning to teach, embracing teaching only.
Well, that's something you got to be consistent with.
Yeah.
It's hard. You talk about invisible consistency, because especially if you teach kids, oh man, all people remember is when you mess up. Yeah. The kids don't. The kids are always cool. It's the parents. They just looking. And you got like, I know for me there was always a split. There was like, it was a 50-50. 50% loved me no matter what. 50% were like gunning.
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm treating everybody the same. Why is there a difference?
Yeah.
And like
I only have so many people to like rotate with and all this
yeah, and
shit.
I'm like, I'm not playing favorites. I treat everybody like that. You just happen to see me treat someone else's kid that way. You didn't see me treat your kid that way. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, I know everything about fucking everybody.
Right.
Just pay attention. And that was always a weird thing for me, but that took reps and practice and just
being there.
Just being there and getting your flow and learning to be confident and learning to not have to be perfect. And
just getting the job done.
Just getting it done and just being good at it, and then it comes around eventually.
Yeah, the effortlessness comes around.
Yeah, like, which seems so insane in the beginning, doesn't it?
It seems like it'll never happen.
Yeah, and then
any jiu-jitsu thing, like any of this, when I do it, like, oh, you made it look so easy. It's like because I've done it 10 billion fucking times.
I've been doing this for a long time, man.
I know. It's like that's the funny thing. It's like I can say like, oh, I've been doing it for like 10 years. And, it's like in their head, they hear 10 years. That doesn't mean they see every single day that
I'm like,
sucked.
You know how many days there are in 10 years, guys?
Like, you know how many days
hours
I ate shit on those days? Like, I just hated them.
Yeah, break that down to minutes. Mm-hmm. Now let me just put you in let me put knee on belly for one of those minutes. Yeah. Real hard.
Yeah.
Now do that for 10 years.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, I've done it. And not to be like, being like disrespectful about it or anything. Like, it's like, yeah, I've done it. I've done it. I put
it's one of those things. I can remember a conversation I had with somebody of I played a big role in my sister's life, like just being big brother, because neither one of us, neither our dads weren't around. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of thought of her a little bit like my kid, even though she was my sister in some ways. And we talk about that. I was having a conversation with an old coach of mine once. And he was talking about his kids, and I was like, I get that. He's like, no, you don't. I'm like, why don't I? He's like, because you don't actually have a kid, man. Like, you can't explain it until you have one.
Right.
And then, even I had my stepsons, I started to get it. And I had my daughter, and I was like, oh. Mm-hmm. And teaching, training, competing, very much the same thing. I can describe it to you all day.
Yeah.
But if you've never done it, you can't imagine it. You really can't.
Yeah.
To go from just the beginner, this is your first day, to the person you are now.
Yeah.
Unless you've gone through that process, you can't people can't understand it, even if they think they can.
Yeah.
You really, you don't have a benchmark for it. There's no reference point.
I mean, most people probably haven't done something that long. Mm-hmm. They would rotate out of their life.
That's true.
Most people would rotate people out of their life, a job, whatever.
They do or a seasonal sport where I did this for 4 months and then I'm
4 months for 4 years and that was it.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm like, okay, I did it every day. Yeah, it doesn't matter what season it is.
I've done this for every day for 10 years. There's a difference there. I don't think people stick with that sort of thing. They
don't realize they don't, though.
Right, because life cycles, things change, this, that. There's I'll get back to it, then 10 years pass, and it's not back to it. I was in that 10 years, I was there.
I was still there doing this.
So it's being there.
Mm-hmm.
Being there, being reliable, trusting the process.
Being consistent.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same shit. But whether it's teaching, training, competing, literally every aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. And those are all separate aspects.
Yeah. And it's going to be a different. That's going to ebb and
flow. Those are all different. They're all interrelated, but you go away from competition for a while. You come back in, you're like, ooh, old patterns don't work. I gotta you lose your pattern, you lose your rhythm. And you're like, how do I prepare for this?
I'm competing next month in Michigan in the gi. I haven't competed in the gi in a while.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm just kind of going in I have really zero bearing for it at this point. So just fucking do it.
Just see how you react. Start to build that process again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I want to try different stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna have some fun with it. Even though Dion's there, he's gonna be watching and he's semi I'm just gonna probably do some stupid shit normal. It's funny.
That is funny to me, man. I don't know if I ever go back into competition, but I don't want someone over my shoulder expecting shit out of me anymore.
Yeah, it would be different if I cared.
Well, care or
It'd be
not,
different if I gave a shit, but
yeah.
because there was a version of me who would have given a shit.
Would have cared. I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not letting anyone have that kind of power over me anymore either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck you, I'm grown.
Yeah.
But I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially from someone that you don't really train with,
mm-hmm.
like that bugs the shit out of me. But even if it's my coach,
mm-hmm.
like even if me and you went to a tournament, and like stay back, man, coach me, but take the expectations and the emotion, and you should win this shit and all. Like, back the fuck off, man.
Yeah, what is that gonna do? What is that gonna do for anybody?
Nothing. It's gonna do nothing.
It's only
but
gonna
like
introduce bad stuff.
I know for me, it's just gonna make me nervous. And I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be mad at me.
I don't like over the years of competitive whatever. I really don't know too many people that are like, yeah, fuck it. And, they get like jazzed up by that. Most people don't.
No, they really don't. And I don't know why there's that disconnect. Like
is it like football movies in the 90s? Like, what is it?
Like, it has to be. Like, what happened? Like, you were a competitor once and you became a coach. Did that work for you? Did your coach treat you like that? And then, like,
yeah,
probably
I don't
not,
understand.
Man. Yeah, I don't
whatsoever.
Football movies in the 90s.
That was the pinnacle of that shit,
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Everyone's like, yep, that's how you do stuff.
Yeah, and then people are all inspired by that shit. Okay.
Like, alright, whatever.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
But is it, I don't know, there's that whole, it's the yin and the yang of, I mean, it's more, our martial arts life, but that is our lives right now.
Yeah, that's our lives.
That goes to, on the macro scale of your life, whether you're doing it in martial arts or whatever, if you're just doing it day to day, like, if you want to get better at something, you want to improve at something, you gotta do the monotonous shit. There's no course you can buy or whatever.
That's the put the work in aspect of it.
Like you gotta just do it.
But then enjoy it. Don't just trudge through it. Don't go through the motions.
It's always
be excited about it.
It's like, the gimmicky stuff that's been going on the past couple of years, like buy this course and do this, blah. It's getting to the point of like, all right, like no more bullshit. Like you gotta do the work, but now it's just learning how to enjoy that work and learning to enjoy the process. And now it's just kind of coming full circle back into that, which I think is cool.
Which is cool, yeah. And I mean, I have quite the library of BJJ videos now.
Yeah.
Thank you, BJJ fanatics. But it's a reference. Yeah. Like I've never watched all of them straight through.
Right.
But I know what's on all of them, and if I have a question, I can reference, and I can watch this thing and be like, all right, I'm working on that. Okay, I have another version. I'm like, all right, cool. And then just getting real, like the details of it, foot placement, grab a grip. Where am I putting my head? Put the head. Just do that a million times. Right there. It goes there. Okay, cool.
You know what I think is interesting sometimes, just like training like that, or just referencing things, is like what my brain sticks to the first time, and then going back to and then seeing the same information and seeing like why it stuck, or what poked out. Why was that the thing?
Yeah.
Then it might be a different thing, and then that's
that's kind of how it progresses. Yeah.
But you got to try it.
Yeah, you got to try it, and if you're, especially if you're consistent, like, and you set yourself up where you can be consistent when no one's looking. That's why I have the video library. Is so I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to depend on someone else to be able to come here or show me something.
And even if it's just like that answers 90% of your question, then like you might ask the last 10%.
Yeah, that's
90%. Or like you might be like get to like 90% of the position and be like, so is this the thing I have to do to finish this? You know what I mean? It like fills in the rest, like almost more of the blank.
It is a good way to fill in most of that blank, so you can be extra efficient when you get to a human being you're with.
Yeah.
When you get the chance to ask your coach.
It's a tool.
Use it as a tool to get you really far along, so that what would take, what would take like an hour private lesson is a 5-minute conversation.
Right.
You did all that baseline work to get to that one thing. That's the one thing you're really looking for. And that's where the training alone really can come in to getting better.
Yeah.
You refine everything down, you get all this macro stuff down, and what you really needed, you can now understand. And I need this one little thing, and
I equate it. to when Tony Stark is looking at the 3D model of things and he like blows it up and he picks out the one molecule, like, or picks out the one thing. And that's what I, a lot of times I'll like pretend like throw it at the wall, it blows up into what it is, and you can pick out what you need.
Pick out that,
and then he trashes the rest of it.
Yeah, and that's what I needed. Yeah,
that's I think a very good visual for
what
needs to happen. Granted, the process is easier said than done, but that's in a nutshell what it is.
In a nutshell, yeah, but all that work is what gets you to understand all that big picture.
Yeah.
And once you understand all of it, then you can pick out that one piece that's giving you the trouble. And you just have to have that understanding, though. And I think working by yourself can lead to that because you go with your own thought process at your own pace. And if you're able to keep yourself on track, which is a whole other kind of practice thing, and develop cues for that, of where then you can distill down into a half hour what might take you 2 hours in a group, but 30 minutes of solid solo work, and you figure it out, and it's all right. There's that. I got all this other stuff.
And it makes you question a lot of things, like in terms of like efficiency of time. Like, do I need to go to class? Like, yeah, you do need to go to class, but you also should do that 30 minutes of drilling with the dummy. It's like sometimes it can replace it if it's fucking absolutely necessary.
Well, what are you replacing though? I'm replacing drilling with a cooperative partner.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not punching someone in the throat for 30 minutes. Cool. That helps my partner, really.
Yeah, put that in the pros list.
Yeah, but what you can't replace is rolling with a human being.
Yeah.
Or having a coach that knows a lot more than you be like, oh, dude, put your hip there.
That's why you go to class. I think all of that shit would be like 90%, yeah. And the last 10% is hey, you got to do this, the finesse portion, The
10%, the finesse portion that you need another human being for, yeah. Right.
Someone who's been there, done it 10 trillion times to tell you and see it.
But do the 90% on your own, so that
it doesn't dismiss you from doing the 90%.
Yeah, because if you do the 90% by yourself stuff, when you get to class, you're super efficient. You're picking everything up. You're feeling good. You're like, your brain is just clear.
Yeah,
because you don't have to think about all that other shit.
Yeah, and I think. It's interesting because when I've been teaching, I've been like, all right, go play with this. I like really specifically, I'm like, go play with it, go push them around.
Do people know how to play?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm like trying to see and then B, like just kind of notice like if they're playing or not. Like sometimes I'll just repeat the same one just because it's drilling, so it's not rolling. It's like that's fine, but. Sometimes people will mess it up, fly around, fuck it up. Then they're laughing, like that's what I want, It's something is setting in their brain better than the other people. You know what I mean? So that's another difference in like time efficiency too. In the same setting.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
Right? So like in the same class setting, yeah, but there's two different things going on. Yeah. So it can vary.
So you're actually kind of teaching people how to mess with it on their own a little bit?
Yeah, a little, hopefully, anyway.
Hopefully that's what they're getting. Yeah,
like the idea is like, fuck it up. Mess it up. Find ways that, don't work. Like, if I've ever been recently, and trying to think of things, I'm like, oh, I need to think of the best idea. I need this. Like, no, I shotgun ideas, and I start to piece and
start messing with them. Yeah.
I just, no idea is a bad idea. Start, word vomit. That I've found is my approach to stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Starting to decompress and and then refine. But it's interesting.
Especially if you're getting started. Traditionally, I'm a bad starter. I'm good in the middle.
I'm a good
finisher,
starter.
But I overthink it. So if I don't need one thing. I got 50 things in my head. I'm going to toss them all. Yeah. Start messing. And you'll find
the best out of it. Or like what.
You'll find it, but you got to throw them all. You got to try them all.
You got to spark it out from somewhere.
Yeah. So just roll. Just get it going. And it starts to kind of flow out.
Yeah. Everyone wants to chase that one idea, one product, one whatever. It's just like, find multiple.
Yeah, you're not going to think of. You're going to think of that one thing after you think of 100 things.
Right. And that's sort of been like my approach to like training and stuff. Is like I want to find different ways to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I want to find different ways to accomplish the same thing in a fun way.
Yeah.
Or in a more constructive, more efficient way. And I've done that by doing it, fucking it up, and then finding a decent way for me.
Yeah. But being willing to fail and being willing to just, does this work? And it might not work that time, but it's going to lead to a bunch of other stuff, and maybe you'll come back around to it. You're like,
try
that's
again.
how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, exactly. Try it again. Like, don't dismiss stuff, so easily anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, oh, fuck this doesn't work. Like, in my brain, like, I wasn't ever a leg lock person.
Oh, gotcha.
Like 10 years of work doing shitty leg locks, and then like I would take a couple privates and seminars, and then it really clicks in, and I start to love them.
You start to like really get into it.
I start to understand it in my brain.
Right.
But I look at it like it was a file in my file cabinet. It was like a fucking cold case. Pull it out, start going over it again, start adding stuff.
But before those seminars, you put a lot of just experimental time in.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And then you would go to a seminar with all that experimental work in.
Exactly.
You'd be like, I got 2 things from that. Bam.
Exactly.
And then you get a private lesson. I got a few more things from that.
Tons of time going for
just
footlocks.
trying it,
Fucked up. I spent tons of time getting footlocked. Getting fucked up. My feet were fucked up. You saw them.
Yeah,
you fixed them.
were jacked.
They were shit.
It was bad.
That was part of it. But like, I learned the hard way with it. And just in this phase, and like leaving that era of my brain and whatnot, and coming into the new era, it's like I don't want to do that again. I want to learn it and approach it from a different way, and play with it and learn it safely, and not crunch my shit
safely,
up.
Not
Yeah.
That's
I think those, but without those experiences, I wouldn't know to do that.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have it. Yeah,
so I'm grateful. I'm definitely grateful they're in the past, though.
Yeah, seriously, I feel that. Yeah.
Now I'm just talking about them and laughing about them because I've fixed all the shit.
Yeah. It feels better now.
Yeah, I can walk, generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this weekend, going to the Columbus Coffee Festival. So pumped, so excited.
Yeah, super excited about that.
I
gotta get better.
Yeah.
I gotta feel better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get all that crap hacked out, and then
yeah,
we'll be good. You'll be good by Saturday.
I'll be good. I'm fine. I got the good stuff.
Hopefully it'll be good weather and stuff.
I hope so. It's cooled off a little.
Yeah.
It started raining again, which is nice but weird.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it doesn't rain.
It's the first day of fall, right? Today's the equinox.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. It is the fall.
Which I love. Love me some autumn.
If we actually get a fall.
That'd
be
nice.
spectacular.
Yeah, exactly. I was just talking about that the other day. Like, well, it'll be 85 and then 35. That was about it.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised by any means, though.
No, I'm not surprised by anything as far as weather in Ohio goes.
Fuck no.
Ever. Yeah.
But I can't complain. There's not like necessarily too many earthquakes or fires.
No, we don't get hit by natural disasters around here. That's for sure.
I'm cool with that.
That's fine. So, like, if given the choice.
The worst thing that happens seems to be is like flooding. Like that's the consistent.
And we're pretty
thing.
high up in here in Columbus,
and we'll be alright.
We don't get a lot of we don't get a lot of flooding around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah.
So, not too bad. But yeah, Coffee Fest is gonna be the bomb, dude. I'm excited.
Hopefully we'll have some fresh shirts. Look for the coffee regular. # keep your coffee regular on the back. Spark up a conversation.
Booyah.
I mean, we're there. We're talking about coffee, so I mean.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to everybody.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun.
Talk to us about coffee. That's a good place to start. Maybe we'll talk about the podcast. Who knows?
We'll try.
Yeah.
Let people know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
And then we can hopefully see if we can get some jiu-jitsu there.
Yeah, we gotta work on that. We gotta do that.
Yeah,
and hopefully they'll let you bring bags in, because I'm probably gonna be buying some coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be something.
We're gonna do something. Yeah. We have to work out some deals, some sponsorships. I don't know.
Something. We just gotta talk to like as many different companies as possible and be like, yo, podcast. Like, oh, here's a bag. Review it. Subscription.
There you go.
Boom.
Man. Boom.
So yeah, hopefully it'll be a good weekend for us. If you haven't purchased tickets, go and come drink a lot of coffee with us.
Yeah, and they're by time. It's not like an all-day thing.
Yeah, it's like by session. We got the 11 to 2 session.
Yeah, we'll be there 11 to 2 on Saturday.
So be there 11 to 2.
Yeah, check it out.
That's a long time to drink coffee. I'm going to have a lot of caffeine in the system.
It is, like, I don't know. Hopefully you don't have any heart attack.
Yeah. There's going to be, like, paramedics everywhere. They're just, like, getting ready.
We talk about that distance running joke. We're going to be running some distance on Saturday to burn off that caffeine.
Oh, God.
Everywhere. Oh.
Jesus Christ. It's going to be fun, though. I'm hoping to... Oh, I went to this place. It's called Rebel in Dublin. They have their own nitro. Fucking rich and phenomenal. It's delicious.
Oh, man, I haven't had nitro in a while. I've been craving it.
I really only get it because, like, UDF is like whatever. Starbucks is cool, but the line is always fucking long.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta go to a main branch Starbucks. You can't get it at, like, in front of the grocery store or anything.
Right.
To get the nitro.
Garbage.
Yeah. And I don't want to go out of my way to get it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And the drive-thru takes so long.
Yeah. I'm really anti coffee drive-thru. Just kind of tying back into like the logo for Coffee Connections. That's what a coffee shop to me is going in and chatting with the barista.
Yeah.
And knowing
Making
the people there.
The connection.
And like the drive-thru kills that.
Agreed.
Just completely destroys
it. Just plays right into the American buzz of go.
Yeah, and then it's like
that's not what Java is. That's not what this is. That's not what coffee regular is.
No, that's not what it's about. So like, I don't like to do coffee drive-through. Like, ever.
I know. Yeah, I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't do it that much because it's always so fucking long, and I'm not waiting that long.
Yeah, because I mean, outside of Tim Hortons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Tim Hortons is fast, dude.
Tim Hortons is the quickness, but that's different. That's not the coffee shop thing to me. Tim Hortons is cheap. Tim Hortons. Yeah,
it's hot brown. There's plenty of it.
It's good. Yeah, we all right. And then I do on occasion. If I don't have time, but I really need the goodness, is if I'm near a Crimson Cup, I will hit the drive-thru.
Yeah,
because damn, you got the variety.
At work at Penzones, they now have Crimson Cup coffee there. They have the barista, I think, maybe, or just like stuff on.
Do they have like their different variety of drinks though?
I think so.
Because that's what I love about that.
They have a full bar. They have a full bar. They have that. They have like a whole situation going.
Like I can go and get a Cordato and a Nitro.
And
that
should be fine. Yeah.
I'm in place, man. Because those are just not common drinks.
Right.
Those are really good coffee drinks.
Yeah.
But you're not going to find them anywhere else unless you make them yourself.
Unless you know what's going on.
And so that's what I like to do. Yeah, like if I'm going to go to a place like Crimson Cup.
Yeah. Crimson Cup is good.
Yeah, it's tasty. All right, well, almost done.
Got anything else? Got anything else you want to touch on? Coffee Fest, Instagram, Podbean, iTunes. Follow us, subscribe, share.
Hashtag keep your coffee regular.
Hashtag keep your coffee regular.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be strapped across our backs this weekend.
Yeah. Shout out to Johann Hari. Thanks for the dude.
Yeah, man.
Oh
man, he'd be a sensational guest.
That'd be funny because he'd be caffeinated as fuck.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
We dig deep into that. That'll happen soon.
Goals. Yeah.
Johann, Travis Stevens.
Yeah, the list grows.
Me and John Danaher having lunch.
Yeah. The list goes on. The list grows. Alright, y'all. Have a phenomenal day. And as always, keep your coffee regular.
Peace in, everybody.